Well, earlier this month, a girl who was kidnapped from California in 2020 when she was just 5 years old was found safe in North Carolina. Well, while this case was finally solved, it highlights how long and complex these cases can be. Well, joining us to share more on how a coordinated approach to protect children and support families can work is Beverly Hutchison, Executive Director for the D. Norton Child Advocacy Center. So happy to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
And in just a few short days, we will be looking at Child Abuse Prevention Month. We're going to see those glimmering pinwheels everywhere around our communities. So this is kind of a perfect time to talk about something like this. What does a coordinated effort look like?
So the Children's Advocacy Center model, which D. Norton is one of, is the idea of, as Mary Riley used to call us, a one-stop shop. So we're going to work together with law enforcement, social services, the solicitor's office, really any agency that has a role to play in a concern about child abuse, and try and coordinate all those efforts through our center for the benefit of the child and the family, and the investigative agencies as well.
I mean, even in adult missing persons cases, it's very difficult to pinpoint where they are, even though they have more of a history, even if it's a parking ticket or something. But when we're dealing with a child who's just, in this case, 5 years old, and in many cases can be a little younger or older, they don't have a whole lot of history. They don't have a lot of school records or medical records. So how challenging is that to locate a child who's gone missing?
You know, that's why we're glad to support law enforcement and social services in their investigations. So those agencies would be looking into and investigating that missing child. So wherever we could support them and however we could support them, we would certainly be ready as a partner in that effort. Has D. Norton ever experienced a case like that where a child was found and then maybe had to go through the process and with the help of D. Norton? You know, I think any time there is a child who's experienced trauma, we're there. So, you know, and the services that we provide and coordinate are appropriate at any point in that history with that child. So whether the trauma is recent or years, we can still be part of the solution. We can still offer a child-friendly, child-focused place for that family to come, and perhaps that child would need a forensic interview conducted by one of our therapists to use non-leading interview techniques to establish what did or did not happen, and then the investigators can use that information to further their case while we're addressing the needs of the child and the family, perhaps from a mental health standpoint. To provide that holistic response.
Right. So going back to the case of a missing child, and in this case, thank God, found alive and healthy as far as all accounts, but how do we become, as a community, more diligent? How do you keep your eyes sharp and on top of things, and to notice when maybe you see something that matches something else that you've heard?
Yeah, it's something we tell adults all the time about protecting children is to trust your gut. You know, read and learn. You know, we want you to do that about how to prevent abuse and how to prevent trauma for a child. But also, if you see something that looks off, feels off, you know, trust your gut and take an appropriate response. You know, make a report to the proper authorities whose job it is to intervene and to keep that child safe.
I mean, we all remember the milk cartons, you know, and we would see, we'd buy a carton of milk and we would see a picture, and, you know, if you see or know anything, call this number. There aren't really obvious prompts nowadays. So what would you recommend for us that maybe once a week there's a website or something that we should just check out just to be a good citizen of the world?
To be a good citizen, you know, Amber Alerts. My husband and I were in the car the other day, and Amber Alert comes over the phone. Pay attention to those. That is a newer piece of technology that we have at our disposal to help quickly identify where that child is, and then keep your eyes open. You know, and if you see that vehicle that they're promoting, make sure you let the authorities know.
research missing children sites. There are those out there that where they will post those pictures that you and I used to see on milk cartons.
Oh yeah. So now, just with a few seconds left, we do have Child Abuse Prevention Month that we're embarking upon. So what is the call to action for us?
Be a hero.
Yeah.
That's our call to action this year, and it really is as simple as providing some time and space for a child in your life. One of the things that we know with children who have experienced abuse, they will often say that the turning point for them was when they were believed and protected by an adult in their life. So just affirming that they're valuable and that they're important. And on the prevention side, we prevent by providing opportunities to have open conversations with children in our lives, making sure that they know you're a safe adult to come to when anything happens, small or big.
That's right. Yeah, be a good citizen.
Yeah.
All right. Beverly, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Great to have you with us. We'll be back after this.